It took a while for it to get interesting, but there have been plenty like that.
There has.
So much is just the precursor to when it gets good, and it really didn't get compelling until the fourth quarter. It was close, and it's one of those things. It reminded me of the divisional round game between the Bills and the Chiefs, where I think the 49ers realized at one point there's a way we could play this that keeps the ball out of Mahomes' hands, and maybe we get the walk-off winner. Remember, with the Bills, it would have been a field goal to tie.
Right.
The 49ers were trying to work it down
Trying to
to
get the
nothing, and it
first-
felt like it was going to happen.
It did.
I mean, that's kind of where I started with my overall reaction and the stuff worth talking about. And we have a lot to talk about, and this is going to be kind of a free-form, wide-open show. We're here in Las Vegas for one more day. I'm out of clothes.
Right.
I'm down. Now, officially, look, baby, everybody's 0-0 again. The Vikings are back. Everybody's 0-0. Let's go. 2024 starts now, but this is the last clean thing I had. Well, the last thing that was close to clean that I had.
I'm down to the end.
Packing for 8 days.
It's 9 days, right?
Packing for 8 days is rough, baby.
No doubt.
So,
no
but
doubt.
anyway, we got so much to talk about.
No, but you're right.
It's
But
very
listen, that was a huge moment of the football game.
It's
Before we get in there,
third
right?
and manageable.
Third
and
and
somebody
5.
texted me.
Right.
In moments like this, think about players, not plays. You get the ball in the hands of your best players in moments like that.
Right.
And I know it all happened fast, and Trent McDuffie made a great play.
Yeah, another great blitz by.
But
Right.
McCaffrey's on the other side of the field.
Yeah.
McCaffrey's the one who needs to have the. McCaffrey's the guy who was
Right.
running with that. This may be the only time I ever have a chance to play for a Super Bowl vibe.
He was
And
the guy for
you
the
gotta
49ers
get it. You got to
yesterday.
get it in his hands at that moment if you want to continue. Because if they get that first down, the Chiefs only had 2 timeouts. They had to waste one early in the half.
Game's
Remember that?
probably over.
You could have, and it would have been very anticlimactic. They work it down, and Jake Moody kicks a 25-yard field goal.
It
for
was
the win.
anticlimactic. I was trying to tell people in the stands where I was sitting, I was like, listen, if they get the first down here, like the game's over,
Done.
guys. This is the play right here. Like there's no chance, right? I mean, maybe he misses the field goal and who knows what happens. But if it's played at status quo, and again, guys, if you could play this back a few times too, the blitz, right? The guts to call this defense in this moment. I mean, that's where Steve Spagnuolo is so special, right? To trust not only his great corner McDuffie with the blitz, does the right thing, gets his hands up, but then, all right, hey, best corner in football, or one of the best corners in football. We're going to leave you out here man to man. Be ready. And he had good coverage as well. But it's the Chiefs. The Chiefs are the most unbelievable thing one of the most unbelievable things we've ever seen. They're the most unbelievable, just get it done football team I have ever seen, right? I mean, really, again, I think we were sitting there in the stands like most people in that game yesterday and what we saw. And, I like this with the dots, the blitz, the way it's timed out, the disguise, everything about it, right? It's hard to tell what you're going to get when Brock Purdy snaps the ball. So that leads to, oh gosh, where do I got to go? They're blitzing, somebody's free. And of course, the guy that's free is in the lane of where he wants to throw the ball. And that's part of the tactics of what Spagnuolo does too. But the Chiefs, Mike, I mean,
you wouldn't have had time to even look over to McCaffrey. That's the thing. Whatever your hot read is there,
you got to get
no
going.
time.
See, that's where he trumps that a little bit, right? So you want to maybe go to your best guy, and he might have been worried about that. So he said, you know what? I'm going to gamble and create chaos and hope they don't even have time to get the ball or let the play develop to maybe their best guy and the way they kind of had it in their mind.
And that's I think, wisdom of forcing the issue there, because if it all breaks down, give them the touchdown. We'll take the ball back with 2 minutes or 155 or whatever it would have been, instead of letting them get the first down, work the clock. We have 2 timeouts. Maybe they would have gotten it back with 40 seconds left.
Right. Go for it.
Yeah.
Go, like you said.
Yeah.
If they make the play, they score, so what? Maybe we get a sack and knock them out of field goal position. Either way, they were the enforcer, right? And I think that's what we saw in a lot of big moments yesterday. They ended up being the enforcer. Their defense, what they did there, the clutchness of Mahomes. I mean, we were sitting in the stands, and I think mostly everybody there, and I was in and out on the telecast, but come on, for the first 2 quarters, it was clearly the 49ers were the better team on the football field, right? They went into halftime. My kids, my wife, they're sitting next to me and going, what do you think? It looks good, right? Niners are looking good. And I'm going, I mean, yeah, but they should be up 2 scores, maybe more. I said, this is exactly what happens. Yeah. People let the Chiefs hang around. They don't put them away. And then we start to see the magic man start to get hot. And then, the rest is history.
I figure your buddy Kyle Shanahan was under a lot of stress at halftime.
Right, knowing they blew opportunities to
10
be up
to 3 should
13-3,
not have been the score.
16-3, right.
It should not have been 10-3.
Right.
It felt like they dominated both sides of the line of scrimmage.
No question.
And it was just a matter of time before the Chiefs did the Golden State Warriors thing and woke up. And hey, that first drive of the third quarter,
you went, oh, maybe they're not going to wake up today.
The Isaiah Pacheco fumble and the interception by Patrick Mahomes.
The third quarter was the interception.
That was the moment to make it 17-3 and really separate. And when they weren't able to cash in then, I mean, there's so many moments
even
you can go
13-3, anything, right?
Something. Get some points here after Mahomes, who should have run it there. He should have run it. It was a bad throw and a bad decision.
Do you think he was throwing it to Kelsey here all the way, right? I wasn't even sure. The throw was so off, and we're so not accustomed to seeing him make a throw that errant and off target. I was like, I don't know, was he trying to hit Kelsey, or was he trying to drop some diamond to Marquez Valdez-Scantling? I'm not sure either way.
Yeah, it's like split the difference, and it went right to a 49er.
That was a moment where we sat there, and I went, oh, man, this might be the 49ers' day right now, right? And to not capitalize there not capitalizing with McCaffrey on the first drive, the field goal drive that put them up 3-0. They were moving the ball then. They had penalties late in the drive that basically got them behind the chains to where they settled for that field goal. But to your point, to my point, yes, the early part of the football game, early third quarter, it felt like the Chiefs were just hanging on. They were just kind of hanging in there. Let's see if we can stay in the game. Let's see if we can keep it to one score. Can we get there? To then put the pressure on the 49ers knowing, oh no, it's a late fourth quarter game and Mahomes has got the ball. And we know that is becoming an inevitable force like we talked about all week. And, of course, that's where we saw history.
After the 49ers went up 3 points with 1:53 left, I turned to Shereen Williams in the press box and I said, if you told me before the game Mahomes is down 3 with 1:53 to play, I'll take that.
Yeah.
I'll take that.
Right.
And I thought maybe they were just going to score a touchdown and end it there. And
when you get Kelsey on the shallow cross for the deep run down the left sideline, right? You went, oh, man, they're going to have a chance here to end the game right here.
He threw to Kelsey in the left corner, front corner of the end zone.
The one-on-one play like the Ravens game.
Right. And there were 6 seconds left after that. Would you have thrown one more to the end zone with 6 seconds left?
I don't think I would have risked it. I don't think I would have. I think that's one, too, where with that quarterback, too, you almost got to save him for himself because he'll let me make this guy miss.
And there goes the 6 seconds.
And there goes the 6 seconds, and all of a sudden he throws the ball and it hits the ground and it's 1-0 and it's over. So I think that was a smart play there, right? The thing that, doesn't matter now, we saw after the fact Rashee Rice was open down the middle, he might have had a chance to play that. But, again, those are things he's got to make a quick decision. He knows there's not a lot of time on the clock. He goes to his best player, like you just talked about a minute ago, and he says, let me throw a ball that maybe is safe, that our guy can catch, that I don't feel is like a bad decision or a reckless decision here, and there's limited bad things that can happen. And I think that's why he made that play. He didn't play the other side and just went with his guy. And lived to play another day. Of course, they kicked the field goal and tie it up, and we go to overtime.
And the center had a bad snap not long before that.
The center had a bad snap almost every snap of the whole football game. Yeah. I kept telling my son, look, Mahomes did this the whole game. He went to the ground and to the right. Almost 4 out of every 5 snaps the whole game. And, of course, the snap, that one was really bad.
And the other thing about having 6 seconds on the clock, and this worked out perfectly for the Chiefs, if there had been a bad snap on the field goal, there would have been enough time to call the timeout, do it again, because it wasn't 4th down.
That's right.
And the 49ers, my first thought was, oh, no, you left 3 seconds on the clock. Well, the 49ers aren't going to do anything, and there wasn't a kick return. It was the first Super Bowl ever with 0 kick returns. Every one of them was banged out of the end zone. Further proof that they need to do something with the kickoff return. Even if it's the XFL model, they need to do something so that play is relevant to the game again. Yeah. A Super Bowl with 0 kickoff returns for the first time in 58 editions just kind of underscores that the current system makes no sense.
Yeah.
Why do you even go through the motions? Just put the ball on the 25 for crying out loud.
No, you're right. It was not, a non-aspect of the game last night, certainly.
So the Chiefs are the first repeat. I'm sorry.
You're good.
Sorry.
You're good.
We had a good week of not talking over each other, and here we are. We're like Jim and Tony. Anyway, never mind. That was unfair. But what the hell? We're sleep deprived. We'll be unfair for the rest of the next 2 hours. First repeat champion since 2003-2004 Patriots. 3rd Super Bowl win in 5 years for the Chiefs. And I really feel bad for Kyle. Between Super Bowl 51, the other overtime game when he was the offensive coordinator of the Falcons, Super Bowl 54
Yep.
against the Chiefs when they were up 10 with under 7 minutes to play and did not win the game. And then last night where it felt like they had the better of the play for most of the game, almost all of the game. And if you take out 15 of the equation, they win that one. It was what Kevin Clark was talking about last week.
Right.
This is the era of a lot of Karl Malones.
Yeah.
A lot of guys, I almost said Kevin Malone from The Office. A lot of Karl Malones.
Right.
A lot of guys who are great
Charles
players,
Barkley.
great coaches that just are forgotten because Mahomes and Reed are taking over.
It's Michael Jordan, right? Phil Jackson-ish, what they're doing. It does feel that way, right? I know we're going to dive into it. We got a lot to dive into in totality. But I mean, not only is the guy like amazing and clutch and ice in his veins like we've never seen before from the day he got into the NFL and became the starter, right? He's got incredible big game experience. So he's not fazed by these moments. The game's a slow motion movie picture. He drops back. Not only can he see coverage, but he understands, oh, wait, this coverage means they don't have a lot of people to watch me and I can scramble and do things like that as well. You add that on top of a coach who's creative, right? The coach has guts. They've recruited and gotten signed players that got guts and a renegade aspect about them where they continue to fight and play physical. And I think that's the incredible thing about them all together. I mean, in a lot of ways, they've won 3 Super Bowls. And in a lot of ways, I sit here and go, I don't know if they were the better team in any of the 3 they won. Really? Right? They were close to, I feel like all 3 of the Super Bowls, the other team was a little bit better, but Mahomes was just like, not when it matters, you're not. And that's what and Chris Jones and Kelsey. And again, the thing we always talk about, the stars on Kansas City always show up. Right. The best defensive player in the game was Chris Jones. The best offensive player was Mahomes. Followed by that, it might have been Kelsey when it was all said and done, or maybe McCaffrey. But the magic of the Chiefs, it is incredible.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.